let's get started on tonight's message. And I called the broadcast tonight the best words in parenting. And here's what they are. Write this down if you've got pen and paper with you. Next time. All right? Next time. Just write that down. Now, here's what we do. You know, as much as we hate nagging our kids to do something over and over and over and over again, we keep asking and asking and asking them, or, you know, we're just sick of like having to correct their behavior all the time. At the same time, guess what? They get sick of hearing from us nag them about what to do, right? And so I want to talk to you about some language that just achieves so many things. Rather than pulling them up for what they're doing, or for telling them what not to do, or stop doing this, or don't yell, or don't run inside, or, you know, don't bring your dirty shoes inside, or I don't know, whatever it might be. Instead of, you know, continually basically bringing their attention and even your attention to something that they've done wrong, focus on how to make it right. So, for example, you would say something like, next time, please remember to wipe the bench after you've made yourself a sandwich. You've basically just told your kid you didn't wipe the bench and it's not okay. So, but without having to say what they didn't do, you've done two things. You've addressed what they didn't do. Instead of you telling them it wasn't good enough or you telling them that's not okay, guess what? They told themselves, okay? And secondly, you've put a picture in their mind for the behavior you want to see rather than bringing their attention to the behavior you want to eliminate. So every time you focus on something that they've done and you ask them to change it, you are strengthening what you want to eliminate. Here's why. The subconscious mind only thinks in pictures, okay? Tracy, I knew you'd love this, right? We had an hour conversation on this, okay? Now, the subconscious mind only thinks in pictures. I want to give you an example. Watch what happens. Pay close attention. Whatever you do, don't think about what color your pillowcase is. And what did your brain just do? It just thought about what color your pillowcase is. Okay then, what about this? Whatever you do, don't think of a big blue elephant sitting on a park bench eating an ice cream. What happened? What did you see inside your brain? You seen exactly what I asked you not to see, right? And that proves that the subconscious mind thinks in pictures, right? You've seen the picture of a big blue elephant sitting on a bench eating an ice cream, right? Something correct. Now, in order to, if I say to you, don't run or don't yell, you see running in your mind. Now, it then takes discipline. It then takes discipline to see something and not behave according to it, okay? All right, so you seem so hard to not see the picture, right? So once you see the picture, it then takes like pretty extreme discipline to think or to see something and not behave according to it. So every time you tell your child, don't yell, I'm sick of you yelling, oh my gosh, stop bringing your muddy shoes inside. Well, you've just given them a picture of bringing muddy shoes inside. So your chances of getting them to remember to take the shoes off outside are even less because the pictures that keep being exposed to their subconscious mind is the behavior you don't want. So what we do is stop telling them what not to do and let them tell themselves what not to do, which is stronger anyway, because you know the deal. If someone else says something, there's a chance it's wrong, but when you say something, it's always right? So when your kids tell themselves something, it's right. So even just something like it might be, next time, please wait until I'm off the phone before you try to talk to me. Rather than, stop bugging me while I'm on the phone. We can be more positive about it. And we're putting a picture in their mind. It doesn't guarantee the perfect behavior next time, but it drastically improves your chances of getting the behavior you want next time because now their mind is seeing the behavior you want. They're seeing themselves giving you the behavior you asked for, even if it might be, let's say they've shouted at you asking for something, or they've been demanding, or they've whinged, or they've whined. Instead of going, oh, don't whine, stop whinging all the time, we go, next time, please use your soft voice. All right? Or they come in screaming or saying, next time, you need to ask me with your inside voice. Okay? So you've basically just said, you just used your loud voice. We don't use loud voices inside. Stop yelling inside. That's basically what you've said, but you didn't say it. And so their subconscious mind is able to receive the correction from you easier because you didn't give them something negative to focus on first. You didn't give them a picture of a behavior you didn't want, which effectively effectively strengthens it. And so it could be next time, take your shoes off at the door before you come in, please. You've just reminded me that I walked in with my shoes on and you don't want me to do that. But you didn't need to say that for me to know that. I already knew that because you told me what to do next time. Okay, so it just brings positivity into the whole house. It gets us focused on what to do, and you begin to eliminate the word don't. Okay, don't say don't. All right, don't say don't, never say never, and you can't say can't. Right, and I've literally got a blog article about to go out about that. Don't say don't, never say never, and you can't say can't. And that's a whole nother topic. But doesn't work. Why don't work? Because the subconscious mind does not process it. So instead of asking them to, continually asking them to stop things, while you're learning to do this, if you stuff it up a little bit and you realize tomorrow morning you're like, stop yelling, you're like, oh, I was meant to say next time, while you're getting used to it, here's what you do. I call it red light, green light. So while you're getting used to using the words next time, sometimes you just got to stop the behavior, right? So let's say your kids are yelling or fighting with each other and you want to say, don't fight or stop fighting or whatever it might be. The word stop gives me a red light. So it makes me, it's like, it kind of gives you a freeze frame in your brain. Like, stop. Then it gives both you and the child, here's what happens. You ask them to stop. And now if you don't give me a green light, if you don't give me what to do, you've freeze framed what I was doing. I'm frozen here for a second. My brain just hasn't got a thought for a minute. It's basically just stopped where it was. Now you've got to tell me what to do. If you don't tell me what to do, I'll revert back to to the last picture that was in my mind, which was what I was doing. So if until you get in the habit of just redirecting, not always stopping the behavior. I want you to think to yourself, if your intentions are to become a conscious parent, what you want to think to yourself is, my intentions aren't to stop their behavior. It's to I don't want them to stop behaving and become little mutes that do nothing and that, don't have a personality anymore. I don't want to stop their behavior. I want to redirect their behavior. I want them to change I don't want to stop their behavior. I just want them to stop that behavior. Okay, so don't just ask them to stop that. What do you want them to do instead of that? Okay, so ask them to do that. So instead of asking them what not to do, we're starting to ask them what to do, and without them even knowing, they think you're just being a really nice parent. It's like, oh wow, that was a nice way for you to ask me to, not bring muddy shoes inside, or to not use my loud voice, or to use next time, use your words and not your hands. We don't hit in our family, whatever it might be, right? That was a really nice way for you to basically let me know I was in trouble, but without getting me in trouble. The feeling of the child is, I already know that. I'm giving myself the feedback now. The child gives themselves the feedback, which reinforces the learning, rather than us being the authoritative one all the time that comes down on them. And when we do, they get a resistance. They're like, I got to get my back up here because you're just always on my back about something. I've always got to stop something and don't do this and don't do that. And I start switching off to all the things you don't want me to do. All right. But also their brain doesn't process, no one's brain processes don't. And so where for you to get the behavior you want, you've got to give their subconscious mind more and more and more and more and more exposures to the behavior you want. When their subconscious mind has had enough exposures to that idea and it's seen that picture enough times, guess what? That starts to become the automated thought. That starts to become the behavior they use. And you see down there at the bottom, Tracy Piscopo, she's saying, yes, we did a 1-hour phone call regarding her son on this exact topic just the other day. And by the way, you're saying yes, Tracy. Oh, you've seen it this week. There's been instant results. This is the thing. When we work at the level of the subconscious mind, results don't take a week. This isn't a process. They're instant things. When you know how to work with their brain, I'm about to do an article. This must be the reason my son doesn't listen to me anymore. I'm full of don'ts. Awesome. And thank you for your honesty. Absolutely. I guarantee you, at a physiological level, at a level of the subconscious mind, it's impossible to not get a result if you start asking for the behavior you want rather than stopping the behavior you're getting. Every single time you bring any attention to the behavior you're getting, you're giving it strength because you're solidifying those pictures. You're giving their subconscious mind more of those pictures that you don't want. And that's why that behavior becomes their automated behavior, because they see it all the time. You say, don't run, don't run, don't run. All they're seeing in their mind is running, running, running. Kyron instantly changed when we changed our language. Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. And so does everyone. Language changes everything now. So that's my message for tonight. Next time, do us a favor. Get involved. Please share your stories, okay? It's not okay with me that so many amazing things are going on in families out there. You're all sending me all these private messages. My heart gets warmed by it. But listen, your story is a seed that can produce someone else's harvest. It's unfair for you to get a result and not share that story, because sometimes the next mother or the next father or the next babysitter or grandparent, they get more inspired by hearing your story than hearing another instruction or another teaching from me, because they see me differently, okay? You know, you're in the same boat as them, and so your seed can literally be what gives the next family the ability to produce a harvest of everything they want. Hey there, Sel Hargo. Check you out. You're on Periscope. I love it. I love it. You're a little bit late. We're closing off now, but that's okay. You can go back and watch the replay of this. So do me a favor, if you haven't already joined my Facebook group, it's free. You don't pay for that. It's just, it's free information and a really good community. It's called Powerful Parenting. And if you get results after tonight's Periscope, please share it. Please share it. Make me a promise. If you commit it, if you get even one result with what we've shared tonight, make me a promise. I want you to comment down here, promise, and put a kiss at the end of it. So you give me a pinky promise. The kiss means a pinky square. And hello, it's your first time here. Welcome. I love first timers. Where are you from? And what's your name? I see it's Hearn and M, but I don't know your exact name. Please tell me your name and tell me your promise. If you promised, if you get one result, I want you to make me a promise. And I want you to share that in the Powerful Parenting group so that other families can feed and get nourished from your story. Because also, it shows them the value of these kind of calls. Can't wait for the results. Promise to share. Pinky promise. You better. Or I'm defriending you all right? Maria, live in Virginia, USA, but I'm from Mexico. Maria, welcome and thank you for joining us all the way from live in Virginia, but you're from Mexico. My husband lived in Mexico about 18 months ago for 9 weeks. I'm trying to think, Val de Bravo, is that what it's called? Somewhere there, Val de Bravo or something like that. Anyway, so thank you, great, and thank you for all your promises. I'm going to hold you to your word. If you break a promise to me, you're gone. All right? Just don't break promises. All right, guys, you know me. Here's what I want you to do. As you depart from here tonight, don't just get off the phone and hang up. As you leave here tonight, I want you to depart from here with courage. The courage to believe in a better way. The courage to voice what you've got to say. The courage to thrive when times are tough. And above all else, the courage to know you are good enough. Good night, guys.